Let's do it. How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Grand Archive video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today we are talking about what Grand Archive does to flip the script on reprint sets. What are they doing to make them more interesting than what other TCGs are doing in the industry? And I think they are doing that. They're making their reprint sets into something that almost no other game that I can think of does, and it gives value to like current players as well as giving that reprint equity to new players as well. So yeah, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about that today, getting a little bit ahead of myself. I just think it's really cool. So let's get into it. So what is Grand Archive? Well, a lot of the folks watching this video who are regulars on my channel, you already know what Grand Archive is because I make a lot of content about this game. It's one of my favorite games. But if you don't know, it is an anime-style TCG that was originally funded on Kickstarter, but it's been out for over a year. It has an incredible competitive scene with, prize cards that are worth hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, as well as like robust cash prizing. It's just a really fun game to play, and I just can't say enough like great things about it. But one of the things that I will say that is great about it are these reprint sets. So they have their sets that are like first edition, and they have reprint sets that they call Alter Edition. And they're essentially like a reprint of the set, but they add a lot of extra stuff to make it worthwhile. Enough changes that some of the cards in the original set will maintain some sort of either value or nostalgia because they, retain original art, whereas some of the new cards will have new art. But not just that, they actually put brand new cards into their reprint set to add, more cards into the competitive meta, but also add more excitement for people opening packs, right? And it gives people buying these new reprint sets a chance to have cards that maybe people don't otherwise have, and then they can, sell them or whatever. It makes the reprint sets not immediately just like junk or worthless, other than the valuable reprints, right? It gives you equity other than just the reprints. And then they do other stuff too. So we're going to jump into an overlay and talk about it a little bit. All right, so here is our overlay. I specifically want to point out their latest set, which is Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition. Now, here I have a list of all of the different cards that you can find, or cards that are different from the first edition. And I think it's super cool. We have everything from brand new collector rares, which they didn't have in the first edition, and also we have the first edition collector rares are not in this Alter Edition. So if you want those specific ones that were in the first edition, you would have to get the first edition. But if you want the ones that are here, these brand new ones, well, now you have a place. So the Alter Edition isn't strictly better, right? You still have, reasons to get the first edition, but you also have reasons to get the Alter Edition, which I think it's so good. It's so good. So here you have, we have like Polcock. I was just going to open up a thing. We have Polcock, we have Nico. I know some of the Nico enjoyers really liking the CSR Nico. And we have some new cards as well. So before we show the new cards, I want to show off some other stuff too. So we have, like I said, these CSRs, right? But we also have every single ultra rare. Yeah, it's just opening new things. That's fine. Every single, I wanted to just make it big. Every single ultra rare now has brand new art. So if you liked the first edition art, well, you would go for the first edition, but you might like the new Alter Edition art, which I personally think is really good. They essentially put characters now on a lot of the just objects, right? So Scry the Stars now has Arisana, as well as the Elysian Astrolabe, which was one of my spoiler cards for this set. Gloamspire Lance now has Diana. Magebane Lash now has Nico artwork. Temporal Spectrometer. We even have new artwork for stuff like Neos Elemental and Carter, which was a very expensive ultra at the time. And so we have now you have new chase cards for the new chase art potentially for the ultra rares, which is great. But you also have brand new cards, and not just like a couple. Look at this. These are all, with the exception of Cosmic Bolt here, these are all brand new, starting with this one, all brand new cards that you can only get in the Ultra Edition. And that is so smart. As I mentioned before, it gives established players a reason to actually pick up the Ultra Edition. And these cards are also a great way to, you know, inject some new life and power into decks that might need it. It's a good way to change up the meta. So instead of releasing an entirely new set, you do the reprint set. You have the much needed reprints. Like I said, Carter was ridiculously expensive. Scry the Stars is another really expensive card. So you have the reprints, but you also have the new stuff too, which is just excellent. And some of these cards will likely also be quite valuable because, you know, they're really strong. Cards that I personally am looking at, by the way, are Dawn's Reversal and the Horta Counter. I'm a big Arisana fan, and I love the Astra element, but I know folks are really, really stoked about Nico level 1, so they're adding new champions too. Previously, we only had Nico level 2, Polcock level 2, and then Vanitas 1 and 2. Now they added the rest, right? So we have Nico level 1, Polcock level 1, and then Vanitas level 3. Nico and Polcock still don't have level 3s, but maybe someday. And then we have, you know, a bunch of new cards. Slash and Burn is a really interesting one for like your Fire Arisana decks that really want to leverage herbs. And there's just a lot of exciting stuff here. We have Refabrication for Tenoris. I like this Focusing Round. It's a 3-drop that on enter draws you a card, but it also is a bullet. So this could be some gas for Diana, who is not really played right now. We have some more gather mechanics. This one's really sweet. This is a 3-drop 2/3, great stats that on enter gather. So you can have kind of a more of a allies style focused Arisana deck that can still, you know, leverage your herbs, which I think is really cool. So I just, you know, I'm not going to go over every single one of these, but I just think it's just such a smart idea. And it's one of those things that Grand Archive does, and they keep doing this, that sets themselves apart from other TCGs on the market. They are not looking to copy what everyone else is doing one for one. They're looking at the market, or looking at what they could do and what they can do differently, and then acting on it, which I think is just great. It's one of the best strengths of Grand Archive. They're really approaching it from a different angle. They're not like, I want to copy Magic, I want to copy Pokemon, just copy their product lines, copy what they do. They're doing awesome new stuff. This actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Shadowverse Evolve. How Shadowverse Evolve will have like, and I have some other digital card games do this too, but they'll release a set, and then they'll release like a little mini set for that. It's kind of like a little mini set, but you know, with reprints and stuff for people who need the reprints. I also want to mention Cosmic Bolt as well. So Cosmic Bolt is a funny one because this card is not a new card. This is a reprint, but this is a starter deck card. And the reason it's so funny that it's getting reprinted here, reason it's so good, is because they released a Proxy's Vault card. And if you don't know what Proxy's Vault is, I did a whole video on this. Proxy's Vault is another brilliant thing that they do. It's a system where they release cards during ban and restriction announcements that are proxyable, right? That you can legally proxy them for your deck. And they are meant to like change up the meta. And they released a card called Polaris Twinkling Cauldron for Arisana. That's a absolute banger card. And what it does is it essentially, you get some herbs, you do some stuff, you deal a bunch of damage to your opponent's allies, and then you shuffle in a bunch of Cosmic Bolts from outside of the game into your deck. Cosmic Bolt's a great card that you run 4 of main deck anyway, and shuffling your deck full of them is just really good. And then people were like, oh crap, I need like 15 Cosmic Bolts, and now they shot up in price, and it made the starter deck really hard to get because this was a 4 of and the starter deck, but it was the only place to get it. And now they put it in Ultra Edition. It makes a lot of sense, and now you can get Cosmic Bolts for like 50 cents to $1. I found them on TCG Player for a little bit less than $1, if I remember. I think it was like $1 something with the shipping or so. I bought 15 of them recently for my Arisana deck. But anyway, another great thing that they're doing for these Ultra Edition releases. So yeah, I think this is awesome. I think folks who don't know about this, take note. I think this is great. Just another awesome thing that Grand Archive is doing that no TCG else, no other TCG I can think of does this. TCGs do reprint sets. I mean, they reprint their sets, but they don't change it the way that Grand Archive does and make it like more enticing for existing players. I want to mention one other thing, actually. I actually haven't opened up any Ultra Edition myself yet, but I've heard from friends and people who have started opening this product that there's a new slot in booster packs that contain specifically these brand new cards, which is so good as well. So it gives you an avenue to get these a little bit easier than having them kind of like randomly mixed in the booster packs, because pull rates in Grand Archive are a little rough, let's be honest. So having a specific slot for the brand new cards in the Ultra Edition is really, really cool, especially for people who are just specifically trying to get the new cards. Yes, that's great. That would have been one of my critiques about this, is like, you know, it could be hard to get the cards, and it still might be pretty hard to get the cards, but having a specific slot for them is a great step in the right direction, in my opinion. So yeah, not much else to say. I'm actually looking to pick up some of these cards. Like I said, I already picked up 15 Cosmic Bolts for my Arisana deck, so I can shuffle in like 10 to 15 with her effect. But there's some other really, really cool stuff here. Temptation's Facade, Perdition is really interesting. Like I said, there's the Nico, but the Horda counter and the Dawn's Reversal, I've seen them kind of, you know, already kind of expensive cards. So hopefully the price goes down as more of these are open. And the Automated Gardener seems kind of interesting. 2-drop, 2/3 with good value. I don't know. Allies, Arisana, maybe, maybe. So anyway, let's jump back to my face. Hello, hey, how's it going? Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of how Grand Archive is doing their reprint sets and how they're kind of swapping it up in the comment section down below. 2025 is a year that I want to do a lot more regular Grand Archive content, and so let me know what you'd like to see. I appreciate it. I got some plans. We got some plans, but I would like to know what everyone out there would like to see. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah, not much else. Bye.